Good afternoon, my 7th period class. Today we are going to be studying section 7.2a, parallel lines, and section 7.2b, which is lines. I've combined these two sections because they are so closely related. Your learning target: I can examine angle relationships formed by parallel lines and a transversal. I can identify relationships of angles formed by two parallel lines cut by a transversal. Now, all of your vocabulary terms can be found on page 409. The definitions are very short. Make sure that you get those definitions. Some of you, as I've been putting them up here, you may already have these defined. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at a diagram, and we're going to start to identify some different angles that have to do with parallel lines. Okay, so make sure if you do not already have these terms down, you take a few seconds to jot them down in your notes. And while some of you are writing them down, the rest, or even everybody, can yell out right now so you all get on the audio recording. 1, 2, 3.
Woo.
Gee, y'all are so excited to be recorded today. All right, so let me pause it for a second. Okay, students, take a look here. What you see is two parallel lines cut by a transversal. This is your transversal. Okay, now our definition for parallel lines from page 409 is two lines in a plane that never cross or intersect. Now, when we're talking about a plane here, I'm not talking about the thing that flies in the sky. When I'm talking about a plane, I'm talking about a flat surface, okay? And a transversal is simply a line that intersects two or more lines. Again, these definitions are from page 409 in your textbook. All right, now when I've got parallel lines cut by a transversal, there are some different types of angles going on here. All right, first off, I want us to look at interior angles. Interior angles. I want you to think about the word interior for just a minute. What does just the word interior by itself mean? Who said it? Inside. Interior means inside. So what do you suppose interior angles will mean? Angles that are, say it again. Angles that are inside the parallel line. So angle 3, angle 4, angle 6, and angle 5 are actually interior angles. Angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, and angle 6. Okay, now let's talk about exterior angles. What does the word exterior mean? Exterior means outside, so what do you suppose exterior angles means? Very good, angles on the outside. And those exterior angles are, if I can find that thing that I had just a second ago. Your exterior angles are the angles on the outside. 1, give me another one. 2, 7, and 8. So your exterior angles, angles 1, angle 2, angle 7, and angle 8. Now, I want us to go back and talk about interior angles again for just a minute. Another vocabulary term that you had from this section is alternate. Interior angles. Let me erase this information here about exterior angles. Oh, it won't let me erase. There we go. Angle 1, angle 2, angle 7, and angle 8 were our exterior angles. Alternate interior angles, according to our textbook, are interior angles. So what kind of angles are we talking about? Angles inside, interior angles. Angles on the inside of the parallel lines that lie on opposite sides of the transversal. So interior angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal. Here is our transversal. If I'm looking for an interior angle, an alternate interior angle for angle 3, which one would I be looking at? Interior now, not exterior. Not quite 5. They lie on opposite sides. Not 4. They alternate. 6. Yeah, finally, keep guessing. We'll eventually get it. All right, so angle 3. Ooh, we can't see that, can we? Angle 3 and angle 6. Can y'all see that yellow?
Just a little bit.
Just barely. Let's change to a different color. Let's go with that baby blue.
Baby blue, red one.
Angle 3 and angle 6 are actually alternate interior angles. Now the thing about alternate interior angles, they are congruent. Now, who remembers from our discussion last week, what does that word congruent mean? Same what? Same, yeah, sort of same angle, same size, but what do we call it? Starts with an M. Measure. Alternate interior angles are congruent, and congruent means they have the same measure. So if I had drawn this a little better, let me do some erasing right there. Your alternate interior angles actually kind of make an S shape when I do it right. So 3 and 6. Angle 3 is congruent to angle 6 because they are alternate interior angles. Okay? Also, I've got one more pair of alternate interior angles. Which ones? Angle 4 and angle 5 are congruent. Angle 4 is congruent to angle 5 because they are alternate interior angles. Okay, now let's talk about exterior. Not just exterior, but alternate exterior angles. All right, we've already talked about exterior angles. What does it mean for angles to be exterior?
On the outside.
On the outside. Okay, let me pause. Okay, I erased part of that because I felt like we were getting too cluttered on the screen. So our alternate exterior angles again, tell me what about the exterior? It means they're on the where? The outside. Yeah. Now let's talk about which angles are congruent. Alternate exterior angles are congruent. Okay, now that symbol for congruent is the equal sign with the little squiggly mark over the top. Maybe the parentheses will confuse you. Let me get rid of that. Let me just make the symbol. That symbol means congruent. So taking a look at our alternate exterior angles. Which angle is on the alternate side of angle 1 and an exterior angle? Angle 8 is correct. 2 and 7. That's very good. Angle 2. All right, students, sorry about that. Our alternate exterior angles, somebody told me that angle 1 and angle 8 are alternate exterior, and you are correct. And that means that angle 1 is congruent to angle 8. And go ahead with what you were saying. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 7. That's very good. So see, this angle business is not really that difficult.
No.
It's not. It is kind of easy. So let's talk about now our corresponding angles. I didn't mark our other alternate exterior angles. There you go. I'll give you a second to get that in your diagram. All right, 7th period class, let's talk about corresponding angles. Our definition from the textbook for corresponding angles are those angles that are in the same position on the two lines in relation to the transversal. Okay, so let's talk about the two lines. The two lines that this is talking about are these two lines, my parallel lines. And they lie, according to our definition, in the same position in relation to the transversal. Here's our transversal. So if I'm looking for the angle that lies in the same position as number 1, which angle is that going to be? Corresponding, same position, same side. Not 2, not 3. Same position, same side. 1 and 5. Upper left, corresponding. Now, corresponding angles are also congruent. So, angle 1 here, since it is corresponding to angle 5, is congruent. Which other one?
2 and 6.
Angle 2 is congruent to angle 6 because they're corresponding.
4 and 8.
Which other one?
4 and 8 and 37.
4 and 8. Woo, you getting these awfully quick. 4 and 8 are?
And 37 is. 3 and 37.
Let's see if I can get us a purple color.
Get me purple.
Angle 7 and angle 3. Angle 7 is congruent to angle 3. That's correct. That is correct. So y'all did real good picking out those corresponding angles. Now we're going to do something else here in the last little bit of class. If I give you the measure of one angle, do you suppose that you're going to be able to figure out the measure of all the other angles with what you know about angles, what we learned last week about adjacent angles, straight angles, vertical angles? Today we've talked about alternate interior, alternate exterior, and corresponding. Okay, I'm going to give you an angle measure, and let's see how you do. Okay, students, let's say that I give you that the measure of angle 2 is 125 degrees. Now, I don't know that that's correct or accurate. I'm just throwing a number out there. I know that angle 2 is obtuse, so I'm just going to call it 125. If I give you that the measure of angle 2 is 125 degrees, can you figure out the measure of some of the other angles, Ingui? How did you get that?
Because 1 and 2 are on a straight angle. Straight angles are 180 degrees, so you subtract from 5 and
Angle 1 and angle 2 are indeed straight angles. So to find the measure of angle 1, I say 180 degrees minus 125 degrees. And what did you tell me you get? 55 is correct. So now I know that the measure of angle 1 is 55 degrees. Can I figure out any of the other angle measures? Is there another angle that measures 55 degrees?
4.
Angle 4. Angle 4 and angle 8. Okay, 55 degrees. Angle 8, 55 degrees. Hang on a second. Let's get angle 5.
Yeah.
Okay, now tell me how you know that angle 1 and angle 4 are both 55 degrees.
Because they're across from each other.
And what do angles that are across from each other? They have a special name.
Vertical.
Vertical.
Vertical angles, because they are vertical. Okay, now somebody said that angle 5 is congruent to angle 1. Why would angle 5 and angle 1 be congruent? They're what? Corresponding. Very good. Angle 1 and angle 5 are 55 degrees because they are corresponding. Now, angle 1 and angle 8 are alternate exterior. What about number 6? What would number 6 be? 125. Why?
Because 2 is
They're corresponding.
Corresponding angles. What about 3 and 7?
7.
They're both 125. Why?
They're vertical.
Because it's corresponding.
3 and 2 are vertical. 3 and 7 are corresponding. So very good figuring those out. Now, in these last few minutes, let me tell you what I need you to do for tomorrow. I want you to do a formative assessment for me. I want you to have these problems completed when you come back to class, page 411, numbers 1 through 12. Now, these are short problems. You're not going to have to do very much calculating on these. And then in class tomorrow, in which you can go ahead and start on this if you feel confident with the formative assessment, in class tomorrow, your assignment will be numbers 13 through 30. And this comes from page 412 and 413. Great job today, 7th period class, and I will see you in class tomorrow.
We love you.